How is everyone? Who all do we have in the house? A lot of folks in here right now. Gosh, Danny Boyd was here at 3:48 p.m. Dust Devil was here at 5:40. Unfinished Project was here at 6:03. This is hours ago. Bad Tree was here. Auto Salvage Outlaws. Who's in here now? Tim's in here. Outfits Garage. How's it going? Buff's Garage, stuck at work but trying to listen. I hear that. First Responder Garage, cleaning the garage and listening in. Well, I do try to make this to where it's a listenable show in that I try to read questions when I put them on the screen and so forth, because to my surprise, probably 30% watch it live and probably 70% watch it either watch it later or listen to it podcast style driving down the road. So I try to accommodate them. Dean Stevenson says it looks like it could be fun. Well, maybe it could. It may not. It may be a disaster. I started decorating back here. I have yet to finish. Let's see. Colleen Tebow's in here. Pure Pontiac Garage. My Aunt Nancy is here. Auto Salvage Outlaws. Let's see here. Irish Outlaw is here. Unity Motorsports Garage, Andy. How's it going? Just talked to Andy a little bit ago. Look for him on a live here in the near future. We have a great topic for you guys. Roy Boy, Heavens Mopars, Two Hacks, Jeff. Two Hacks, glad to see that you're not completely croaked. He's been under the weather. J-Bo is here. Howdy, J-Bo. Henry's Hot Rod Garage. Leighton Welding. All right. Hippie Miller. Robert Magny, who is working on the intake of his 1990 Dodge truck. He has done a full restoration on a 1990 Dodge truck. That's going to be the nicest driver around. Ed's Machine is here. Well, all right. So I've got Cope coming in at the top of the hour. He's doing a little Christmas shopping, and he can tell you about that when he gets here. But I thought tonight we could talk about Christmas stuff. We could razz Cope before he gets here. He'll be here in a little bit. We may have another guest drop in. You never know. Sometimes I get a ring at the doorbell here on StreamYard. Buff needs to get his 6-liter to Ed soon. Well, Ed can true it up. Greg McDonald made it. Punisher Lamons, how you doing? Quite the crew in here. 28 people in here to see my terrible job of decorating there. Yeah, Cope, he'll be here in a little bit. We went to Chicago here last weekend. I got out of PRI at a reasonable hour, and we about had our assignments figured out because Dallas and I had certain assignments, certain vendors we wanted to talk with about various things. And it was looking like by about noon, I said, I think this is going to be pretty reasonable. So I asked Cope, I said, hey, man, you got dinner plans? Because his shop is 2 hours north of the convention center there at Indy. So it worked out just right. I got there. We took off, went up there, had dinner, did all kinds of stuff. But I'll wait till he gets there. I'll wait till he gets in here, talk about that. He's Mr. Chicago. He grew up there. I have never been before. Turbo Tom is saying the Pistons look good lit up. Yeah, I guess so. Not nearly as lit up as that one was when it flew out of the block that time. Robert's got 2 new kittens, and they're already master tree wreckers. Cats are everything wreckers. Greg McDonald got back from Florida already missing the 75-degree weather. Well, yes, thanks for making us all feel great about the Arctic places we live. I hate cold weather. There is nothing good about cold weather. Absolutely nothing. Dean Stevenson said everything is better lit. No, a pan of solvent you're cleaning parts in is not better lit. Ask me how I figured that one out last year. Pure Pontiac Garages is cold in central Missouri. I bet it is. It does get cold there. It gets cold over at Sykeston. I know that. No bugs. I don't know. You still have bugs. It's like I was on a live. It was probably 30 some degrees out and had a stink bug walk across the camera like this. Had no idea where he came from. All I know is he walked across the camera while I was live. That was a few weeks ago. I think that was when I had Cope on last time. No mosquitoes in cold weather. Yeah. I think mosquitoes are really close. They might need to be on my list of things that shouldn't exist. Dean says afternoon here, but I'm kind of different. Yeah, you're on the other side of the world. Cold in southwest Missouri also, yeah. Yeah, I have no use for the cold. I think the only people who like the cold are people that only want to live around other hardy people. It's like you see the crazy car chases and all the craziest behavior happens in places like Florida. Like you never see that kind of stuff in, say, Iowa. That's because those kind of people can't survive up there. You got to be hardy like the Bad Tree Gang to survive Iowa, or Jerry, or those folks. Auto salvages. I need to go to Florida till March. Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to going somewhere for the winter. One of the guys I work with, he'll take off and do 6 or 8 cruises a winter. Every time the temperature looks like it's getting a little bit cold, takes off. Goes on a cruise. Roy Boy says hunting is better in cold weather. Well, I don't hunt anything. Going easy on the breakfast ding, work party, Christmas party. It's American barbecue. That's funny. So in Australia, you have American barbecue. Now, Aaron Henry, you say it's American barbecue. Is it Southern barbecue? Because it's not like what Yankees call barbecue, right? They don't know what barbecue is. Is it pulled smoked pork? Yeah, I would do it, Peckerwood Customs, come to Australia for winter. But the problem with that is I prefer to live in a free place. Free men are armed, and I could not be armed there. I would not be compatible with Australia. Roy Boy, did I announce a venue for No Name Nationals too? No, we're very, very close. Dallas and I have one meeting to get done, and either way, we're going to announce not September 30th. I was thinking it was September 30th, October 1st last year. We are announcing on December 30th for the No Name Nationals second annual. We will make that announcement 2 weeks from today. Yes, Aaron. Yes, it's meat that went in yesterday and smoked. Very good. Because barbecue is pulled smoked pork, and barbecue is not a grill. Barbecue is not a cookout. See, Ryan from Streetcar Chronicles sneaked in here. Yeah, 2 hacks. That they say that, but I mean, if you're from here, everything else is somebody else's attempt at barbecue, and then then there's the whole. I've seen roast beef passed off as barbecue. That's not barbecue. Robert says, I prefer pork over beef. Texas does a lot. Yeah, it's fine. They can all do that. I mean, but that word barbecue has just come to mean practically everything. Yeah, Outfits Garage. See, Russell's a man who knows what's up. Barbecue is smoked pulled pork no other way. You know what? Yes, exactly. That's what barbecue is. Correct. Yeah, first responder says, I thought I knew what a barbecue was, so I moved south, and now I know what real barbecue is. Exactly. Exactly. I told Cope if he comes here, I'll take him for barbecue because it's entirely possible he might not actually know what barbecue is because if you're from the north, you might not actually know. Just like we had that conversation about cornbread. I have seen people from the north see this stuff that's just like pound cake. It's sweet and has exactly the same consistency as pound cake, and they call it cornbread, and it's not. That's not cornbread. Cornbread is coarse and grainy. It's not very sweet. It's made of ground cornmeal. That's cornbread. Let's see. But Levi says, I have never enjoyed barbecue for some reason, just not a good meal at least week. Yeah, that's cool. This is America, man. You know what? That's totally fine. People think I'm weird because I don't drink coffee. I don't drink coffee, don't drink alcohol, don't eat eggs. And that's just me. And you can not like barbecue, and that's totally cool. More for the rest of us. See, now we're talking. Now when it's beef, it's brisket. Beef brisket, correct. We have a real barbecue joint here, but the only reason is because the people who run it moved up here from South Carolina. We have had a few people try to open them and they have failed. This one has been running 16 years. You're slipping, Russell. When it gets too sweet, it's just not right, especially when it gets spongy. Howdy, Miss Dust Devil. How's it going? Yes, JB, real pot roast. Exactly. That's good stuff. Correct, Buff. Cornbread isn't, it's not supposed to be. It is not. I even like my barbecue. Good barbecue doesn't even have to have sauce. Um, Meat smoked right, it doesn't have to have sauce. So you can put sauce on it, but and the purists say vinegar base, and that's okay. I like the vinegar base. I'll try some of the other stuff, but J-Bo likes the short ribs. Yeah. When I went to Memphis here a few years ago, I decided I had to try some Memphis ribs because that's what Memphis is known for. And they were really good. Dean says, if I do a crime, will they go easy on me? Who is they? And where's the crime? Because all of that is relevant. Some places you can do you can do a crime where there's no cash bail and they just let you go. I think, was it California or Illinois like that or one of those states? But no, here you may not survive just committing a crime. You can't just casually commit crimes here like you can some places. Dean says, what if I name drop? Doesn't go anywhere here. Man, there are some YouTubers that are all about the name drop. It just doesn't matter. See, Tony's Hot Rod Garage sneaked in here. How you doing? Clint Street Machines. All rested up from PRI, I take it. It was very easy to find Clint on the floor there because he had that, that has that really nice silver hair, slicked back like that. Very, very easy to spot on the floor. And Polito was the only person there wearing sunglasses. So between the two of them, they were easy to spot. There you go. Irish Outlaw is the name drop. Outfits Garage says, try the Rendezvous in Memphis. It's great. You have to Google it because it's on a back street. Well, that sounds dangerous, but delicious. Clint says, hey, it looks like the sun under those lights. Yes, I see an unfinished project. I looked that up. It was, I think it was a tag, and they deleted some code and lost a copy of their movie off of that. I think he's trying to delete this live. First Responder Garage looks like he's got an antenna for sale. Well, there you go. I bought a set of rocker arms out of the comments last week. Yeah, if you need a new old stock in the box Chevelle Nova antenna GM part, looks like First Responder Garage is out there fishing. Don't know if he's got it for sale to the general public, but told two hacks about it in a public forum. Toy Story 4, yeah. I read that something about that license plate code caused them to delete a bunch of script on their computer or something like that. That was wild. Robert Magny advocates going shooting hogs from a helicopter. Well, those hogs haven't done anything to me. I get that there's a problem with the feral hogs, but I don't enjoy killing anything. I don't kill bugs unless I have to. Yeah, someone accidentally used the erase root directory command and got rid of Toy Story 2, and fortunately there's a backup copy. Right. That's what I read. It was something like that. Yep. Let's see. I got one for you. Unfinished project. I have one for you. WXW454. WXW454. JB says, here's a good one. A 2.8 distributor advance is now obsolete. Yeah, well, I guess. It's amazing what's obsolete now. Clint, I don't feel bad. I just don't. I have no joy whatsoever from killing anything. So he's looking for 15 before craters. Well, good luck. That's not easy to find. 2X sold 5 pairs last week. Of course. Yeah, Aaron says he's probably got the Kragers, but the freight might be nasty. Yeah, indeed. I bet. Oh, look at that. Unfinished project got it. What do? You have your own little DMV database there? Electric spark control from Davis Electrical. We can crowdfund you. I have no idea what you're talking about, Dean, but that's not uncommon. Oh, Ryan wants a 5 by 4 3/4 bolt pattern Chevy pattern. Yeah. I don't know why GM had to do that. That was weird and unnecessary. I think they did that just to give us the dreaded unilug, so that we would then have wheels that never fit anything. Yep. The one-eyed cat, Don, wants to go to a launch. It's on his bucket list. HEI with solid state control system. Yeah. The HEIs, it's all right. They work. Good systems. I probably prefer regular traditional factory HEI to points, although I like points too. Auto Salvage Outlaws says hit the like button if you want to. Clint says doesn't know if he has room for an HEI with that blower. Well, you can get a small cap HEI. All the Chryslers had the small cap. Tony's Hot Rod Garage is hard to beat the Unilight. I'm trying to remember what that ignition system debacle was Andy had at the dyno. I think it was trying to use his distributor with their box. I got the doorbell here. There's a muted John Cope. You're muted, man.
How about now? Good?
Yep, it is now.
Okay.
How's it
going? The dealership was a disaster, but I'm here.
The dealership was a disaster?
Yeah.
Did you pick up your truck?
No.
Oh. You want me to show them?
I could not give them a total payment of 40 G's. They wouldn't take my money.
They wouldn't take it?
No. We're haggling over $1,000. But what did I miss?
Well, you missed a lot of talk about barbecue. And,
oh yeah,
we
like
were talking
Chicago.
About
Chicago has real barbecue. Is that what you meant?
I have no idea if Chicago. Probably not. We were talking about Southern barbecue, pulled smoked pork.
Okay.
And we were talking about barbecue. This is Santa Cope's new sleigh.
Not yet.
Not yet.
And it ain't mine. It's the shop's.
They were trying to stick you for an extra $1,000 or something, right?
Yeah. For accessories.
Yeah. That's a good looking ride.
Yeah.
I mean, that cab is longer than some people's bedroom.
My accountant asked me to put the name of the business on the truck.
Right.
So there's no mistaking it's for the shop. So
yes.
Not only am I going to put CRT on it, underneath it, I'm going to put shop truck.
Yeah.
So that way, if the IRS, wants the...
And then when the shop depreciates it for 5 years, the shop can sell it to John Cope.
For $1.
And he can depreciate.
So you guys were talking about barbecue.
Yes.
Something tells me, because I was dabbling in it for a little bit while I was driving. Were you guys talking about the cornbread again too?
I mentioned that because I said that barbecue is pulled smoked pork. And cornbread is not supposed to be sweet. We were talking about these certain things that are the way they should be.
So say that again about the barbecue. What did you say, John?
Yeah, so a lot of people aren't familiar with real barbecue because they don't have it in all parts of the country. Uh-huh. And really, we wouldn't have it here if it weren't for some Southerners bringing real barbecue here.
Okay.
But if you go into North Carolina, South Carolina, you get real barbecue down in there. And it's supposed to be smoked pork. It's not roast beef. It's not,
Right.
And barbecue is not a grill, and barbecue is not a cookout.
Right. And it has to be pulled pork, and that's the only thing that
Well,
classifies as barbecue?
the beef is brisket. So a lot of barbecue restaurants that make barbecue also serve brisket. Like I know the one here serves brisket on Thursday or Friday or something.
So if you slapped the sauce on a brisket or you slapped it on pulled pork, shouldn't that qualify or no? I don't know.
Well, yeah, the brisket you call brisket, it's beef brisket, and then the pulled pork is barbecue.
Only pulled pork is barbecue.
Yeah, to me, yeah. But other
All
parts
right,
of the country will do it with other. See, now you've got all this barbecue chicken and barbecue beef and all this other stuff. Barbecue. So they call all kinds of things barbecue now, but in my opinion, they're
right.
not.
I gotcha. It depends where you're from, I would imagine. Right?
I don't think it depends where you're from. I think it's either you're a barbecue person or you live somewhere where they don't have it.
Oh, okay.
That's just what I think. But and that's okay because every part of the country can have its own thing.
Well, me and Elaine went to a barbecue joint, and
right.
it was not too far from the shop on US 30, and they had Kansas City barbecue, Chicago barbecue, they had Southern there was 6 different sauces on the table, and whatever you bought, if it was pulled pork or you can pick which sauce that you wanted, and they were all different. I tried all 6 of them.
Oh yeah. South Carolina's known for the mustard sauce, and North Carolina's known for the vinegar based, and then out in Kansas City they do something that's like sweet and ketchupy or something like that. They have different stuff in different parts of the country. Then in New York they have roast beef with ketchup on it and call that barbecue.
No,
New York has no idea what barbecue is.
Yeah. That my first taste of barbecue were barbecue chips in high school.
Again, that's one of those things that they've come up with. They've added like a liquid smoke flavor to.
Yeah.
But like there's only one place I've ever been in this entire country my whole life that you can get beignets. Only one. And that's
I don't even know what that is. What is that?
It's a fried square of dough that gets really the size. It's almost the size of a baseball, and then it's got an inch. When I say an inch, I'm not exaggerating. I mean an inch of confectionery sugar on top, and they serve them in plates of 3. And the only place to get those is New Orleans. I've never seen them anywhere else.
In stores or like in restaurants. It's not like a food.
Cafe Du Monde is the #1 place that sells them.
Okay.
But yeah, the restaurants, little street vendors, everywhere down there you can get them, but you can't get them anywhere else.
And what is it
Nowhere else. A beignet.
A beignet.
I think it's Beignet.
Is that French?
Yes.
It sounds French.
Yep. The French occupied New Orleans.
Right.
Yeah, French Quarter. You can get them anywhere down there.
Now the Cajuns.
When I took that engine to cut off Louisiana, is an hour south of New Orleans. It is the farthest south dry land that you can get to. I mean, if you literally went about 100 yards farther south than where I took this engine, you were in the Gulf of Mexico.
Really?
You had to go through swamps and bridges, and there's a bayou there, and right on the bayou. Well, I stopped in New Orleans to get beignets because you can't get them anywhere.
I've never had it. I never had it.
Well, if you go to New Orleans, you should try it. Now, there was a pizza joint used to be here years ago, and they had beignets on their bar. They weren't beignets. They were some kind of, I don't know what they were. They weren't beignets. They either didn't know what they were, or they figured nobody else would either.
Uh-huh. Who's in the house tonight?
All kinds. We got 40 in here.
Wow, do we really?
Yeah, we do.
I can't see it, and I don't want to because it's distracting me, so.
Well, first responders talking about transmission. Oh, no. Go try to change his comments, kicked himself out. We'll let him back in. Yeah, I'll grab that question there. That's an oddball one. Creole barbecue. Chicken legs. Let's let Coke back in here.
Sorry about that.
What'd you do? Evict yourself?
I put the mouse on the computer and it all went away.
So first responders asking you something here. He has a 46 RE. He says I need to remove one of the frictions from the forward. I guess he means the forward drum, rear drum. 6 is one too many for the input spline. I guess that's a statement. 6 is a lot to have in the forward drum.
The forward drum, you can only put 4.
I didn't think you could do that.
And if, let's say, you machine your pressure plates and you jam the 5th one in there, it will only be in there for the ride because there's only enough room on the front annulus for 4 clutches to grab.
Yeah.
You get the splines on the annulus. So if you put 5 in there, it ain't going to do nothing. It'll fit, but that 5th clutch will not grab the front annulus. So it's going to be doing nothing. If that's what his question is, or if that's where he's going. Yeah.
Aaron says that I go to the same school of decoration as he does. Unfinished project thinks he sees a number on the paper behind the lights.
You have to put your phone in a mirror and read it backwards. It'll tell you what the date is.
Mohawk 62 says it's subterfuge over the orange paper. I can't read it. I'm telling you, people. We plan to announce that date on 2 weeks from right now.
Is that New Year's Eve, John?
It's the 30th.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Close enough.
Yep.
Oh, my gosh. Somebody else is ringing the doorbell. You don't have any active warrants, do you, Cope?
I hope not. I hope not. Well, look who's here.
All right, Mopar people.
Oh, man. What's up, Joe?
I'm out here working on my junker, and I figured I'd say hey to y'all. Tell everybody hello and good evening. All that.
Hello, Joe. He's got his correct direction shirt on.
Man, this one I got like, you see that that tear there?
Yeah.
My CUDA like fell off the jack stand the other day and basically like ripped into my shoulder. So been about 3 weeks now. It's getting better. So I tried one of those Muscle City Madness block stack things.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It came down hard on me there, but I lived to tell.
Well, the real question is, why did you try it?
It was just for a second, man. It was really.
You were trying it when you were under there. I thought you were only supposed to try it when you had your buddy under there.
I know. I mean, I was like behind the car. This here, I guess I can. That metal bracket where that sharp corner is. If I can figure it out, there it goes. Yeah, that came down and cut me good. But,
yikes!
Hello to everybody in the chat. I can't see the chat because I'm on StreamYard. But
glad you're on the mend.
Yeah, hey John and John.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah, well, welcome to the John and John show.
Awesome.
I know. I
what you building there, Joe?
Hope on as a semi-regular.
This is my 400. I've been doing a build on.
Oh, nice.
So it's only going to be 10-to-1 compression, little roller cam, aluminum heads, but that's going to be my No Name Nationals. Kind of the Rocky motor here. It's the underdog.
Okay.
What cylinder heads you putting on there, Joe?
I got these. It's gonna be like a commercial. These are my Edelbrock. These are E Streets that Ed's machine worked over for me. So
nice.
I don't know if you can see the chamber or not, but it's they're as nice as they can be, for what they are.
Now,
yeah.
Now, Cope, those chambers are all within 0.4 of a cc of each other.
That's right.
we know this.
They've been checked and rechecked.
Yes.
Does this officially make Mopar Joe a big block guy?
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Just Mopar Joe was a big block guy before big blocks were cool.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
See, a lot of people don't know what people do before they're on YouTube, but Joe did a lot of stuff before YouTube.
Yeah.
And so you're going to put that in the CUDA, right?
That's it. It's
okay.
A stock cast crank 400.
I ran cast cranks in my 440s and ran mid 11s in a lot of different setups and never had no issue.
That's what I'm hoping for. But if I smack it with nitrous, it may wake up or shut up, one of them.
Yeah, I really don't think you're going to have crank braking issues. I think the block will give out before the crank will.
Man, these are like the strongest blocks out there.
Hey, Joe, Two Hacks is informing you that big blocks start at 521 inches.
Man, wouldn't it be bad if a 406 big block went out and spanked one of them big Ford strokers, whatever they are?
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
It ain't going to be too hard, seeing as how he can't keep a transmission in that car. I'm talking about Two Hacks.
Yeah.
I understand. He can swap a torque plate into it, right? Maybe.
That would be as bad as putting a Hemi in a Ford.
Here's a business question for both you guys. Levi's Backyard Performance is asking Mr. Cope, when do you recommend getting an accountant and tax person? I'm very new to owning a business, so currently I have no clue on taxes.
Oh. Well, if you are an American citizen born before 1913, there was no IRS.
Right.
But if I say you get one right away so you don't get yourself in trouble. Even like before I went out and looked at this truck, I called my accountant. I says, listen, I go, if we leave what's in there, they're going to take it. He goes, you got to go spend it. So that's what we did. Well, we didn't do it yet, but we're trying. But it wouldn't hurt to go get a guy right off the get-go. How about you, Joe? You got an accountant?
My beautiful, lovely wife is my accountant, and that's all I really need, I think.
So not only do you got to hide money from the IRS, you got to hide it from your lovely wife.
Surely she's not watching. Hopefully.
What's that old saying? It's always better to ask for forgiveness than it is for permission.
I feel like we're going to hear the payphone cut on here in a minute and say that is against the rules of the institution.
Every single race car guy I know has a race car stash. We all got a little spot to put race car money in.
You're outing him.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying me.
There you go.
Oh, man. So I would imagine you're going to get a different converter for this setup, right, Joe, for this motor?
Yes, I've got my 8-inch. It's the Turbo Action J converter. I need to get it.
Okay.
I'm going to send it off and get it reflashed.
Okay.
But yes, I will have an 8-inch now that's up to spec.
Yeah, because I think if you put your small block converter behind a big block, it'll be super, super loose.
It was very loose behind this 408 too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's your converter guy? Who do you like?
I use Mike Ivan at Top Line Converters.
Oh, okay.
He's one in our community. He's sometimes in the chat. You might see him in here tonight.
Is he really?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, super fair on pricing. I mean, it's
nice.
It's nice.
I'm going to go up there. He's going to build me a converter for the Dart Sport, and I'm going to film it.
Oh, yeah?
He's going to build me an 8-inch converter for the Dart Sport, and we're going to do something custom made for it.
Nice.
How's that for custom made? Look at that.
That's very nice.
I like it.
That could have been a Hemi push rod. I had to cut about 4 or 5 inches out of the center, but she works now. There you go. I needed to check the piston to valve clearance on this thing again, because I put the other head on last night and I did a video about checking piston to valve. It's going to be out tomorrow morning, and I'm like, I want to check the other side because I got to know, you know.
What kind of rockers you running there?
These are 440 source specials. They're like $289 for the set, but then if you buy the hold downs and the bolts and the spacers and everything else, it turns into like $450.
Yeah.
So, you know, they get you on just sending, they sell you a shaft and 2 rockers, or, you know, a set of rockers, but nothing else. That's it.
I just got a set of factory 273 rockers from Max Wedge Dick Dastardly.
Mm-hmm.
They're sitting over there. Very nice. He puts them in a box and then he paints the box black. And he puts a label on it. Like, well, nothing looks suspicious here.
Yeah.
I've also got a set of the competition cams roller rockers that are steel for the small block. Really nice.
I sold my big block set to Mike Carr at My Car Shop. I had a set. Maybe they were cranes though. He's building a 413 over there.
Dickerwood's custom switching to a roller cam. I'll tell you what, considering those new lifters that Comp Cams has out, the diamond light coated lifters, that's making me lean toward the possibility of sticking with a flat tappet.
Yeah.
The early testing is looking really good on those things. So there's Cave Dave.
Now, Joe, do you have? Sorry, John, I didn't mean to talk over you.
Just talking about the. He said the stroke small block to be as torquey as that 400 converter will work.
That small block may have had more torque than this engine, but I hope I have more horsepower. I'll see what I may have to rev this to the moon. You know, I guess just pray.
You should be able to breathe pretty good with that giant bore on that thing, so we'll see.
Yeah. There you go.
Yes, sir, John Cope.
I was going to ask Joe if in his area, his neck of the woods, does he have like some kind of a winter where like us here, we have some time off? Do you have like time off of racing because of the winter season?
Yeah. They I think they closed about end of October. A lot of there'll be one they do like a snowbird race or something that, you know, it in Arkansas it could be 50 degrees or it could be 45.
A
little cooler, but every little bit helps.
Why does it look like I have a mohawk?
You do.
Bad Tree Blake's in the house. Rabid Transit J is here. Rabbit Transit says he can see a big 3 battle. Well, if all the Fords don't break next time, maybe so.
Ooh, man. Yeah. I'll take any of them that I guess I need to, whatever. I don't mind racing, anybody and at least making a showing. If I lose by 100 car lengths like I did against Venom, then that's okay.
So when do you think you're going to have to permanently install that head there, Joe?
I'm hoping I may get this one on tomorrow. Like I said, I've already mounted that other side, but every free 30 minutes I get, I come out and work on my motor. So some people are playing video games. I got to come out and work.
What intake you going to run on that?
I got 3 choices. I've got a tunnel ram that had dual 4s. I've got a Performer, the RPM that's a little bit taller, but it's dual plane. And then I've got a Street Dominator that's been, it looks like professionally ported inside and out. And they cut off the EGR portion of it and re-welded it.
Uh-huh.
So I got that in my parts stash when I went to Michigan. And I kind of want to try them all if I get to go do my dyno day. That's supposed to be my Christmas present for my wife. She's going to pay for my dyno session. So I know that's
nice.
Well, Joe, you will like to know that my guest for January 6th, Friday, I'm having Mr. Andy Wood, and the topic is all about tunnel rams.
Oh.
So we're having a tunnel ram live.
I know y'all don't like how I tunnel ram. You know that.
We've got several new tunnel ram owners in the community wanting to run tunnel rams this year, including the Bad Tree guys, Dust Devil Brian, Jeff is new to having a tunnel ram. Lots of guys are new with the tunnel ram. So we're going to have a tunnel ram live on January 6th. So if you have any interest in joining the tunnel ram mafia, like old Ryan from Streetcar Chronicles and all these new tunnel ram owners, if you're interested in tunnel ram tuning, setup, and all that stuff, January 6th, we're going to do all things tunnel rams with Andy Wood.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
You can always learn a lot from Andy Wood. That is for sure.
Yeah. Well, I'll try to keep him on speed dial. That way Oh, yeah. Okay. So the one reason I wanted to redo this, my piston to valve clearance on the other side was 246 thousandths.
Oh, that's plenty.
It's almost sad.
Yeah.
So I'll double check both sides, but should be plenty good.
Dr. Go, I saw something about that. I don't know what, I didn't see that video yet, but I know that I was wanting to do something with Andy on tunnel rams because there's so many people running them. I know that Blake sent me a picture. There was a tunnel ram on the bench. I know that Brian's wanting to run one. So we're just going to do all things tunnel rams on that Friday.
Sweet.
So here's a transmission question. Imagine that. So Heavens Mopar Scott with an S is saying, will adjusting the bands in a 97 Ram 2500 V10 with 297,000 miles be enough to make it good or reliable again?
Well, you're only adjusting the low reverse band and the second gear band. It certainly would not hurt for him to do that. Would it make it good and reliable again? Well, that would be hard to say. That's a lot of miles.
Well, the question I would have is, how is it driving right now? Are you trying to fix a problem, or is that a preventative band adjustment?
I know that year Ram, they had Chrysler had issues with the inner lip seal. The seal was machined, the receiver groove was machined too big, and it would have third gear problems when it was cold. And so there was such a big problem that every aftermarket seal kit that you get now has the factory seal and a upgraded lip seal, which is thicker to take up the slop that Chrysler put in that drum. So you'll get 2 seals in the overhaul kit. And that was a big, big issue on those.
Hey, Jay, what kind of tunnel ram you got there? I will need a tunnel ram before too long. Uh-oh. Joe knocked himself out. It's okay. Destroyer 1320 in the house. J-Bo saying just go for it. All righty.
There you go.
Joe is back.
I blame
Welcome back, Joe.
Jeff sent me a message, and when I picked my phone up, it killed it. So it's his fault.
Oh, Offenhauser with carbs.
What junk food did you get tonight, John? I see you got the soda can there.
I had a chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A. So I had a chicken sandwich, and my dog had 8 grilled nuggets. He loves the grilled nuggets. Yeah.
Yeah.
Had to run
you didn't want to go to Bob Evans again?
No. I think that
this guy John goes to Indianapolis.
No.
Yeah.
And he goes to Bob Evans 3 days in a row.
Really?
And I'm like, what?
Yeah, I know.
There's so many good restaurants in Indy.
Okay, so we're gonna fix that right now. The first day I go there, okay, I go there. Polito is behind, so he was coming up. He didn't get to leave till late. I said, "Well, I'll tell you what, shoot me a message when you're 30 minutes out," because I was over getting set up at Travis Bell's on Wednesday. Making sure I had my internet and all that set up. He messages me, and we get to the hotel at the same time. He's like, "Hey, man, I'm starved. Let's go over here." Bob Evans was in the parking lot of this Best Western Airport. I'm like, okay, that's fine. So for those of you who don't know, Bob Evans is a place where it's kind of like country cooking, except everything comes out of the freezer and into the microwave. Okay, that's Bob Evans. Right. Bob Evans pancakes, I think their highest and best use is cutting 904 transmission pan gaskets out of them. That's yes, okay. But if you don't know what real country cooking is, then Bob Evans, I'm sure, is great. So we went there the first night, and then the second night, what was the deal the second night? We had Clint, and for some reason we went to Bob Evans again. And then a third time, we had a bunch, like 2 hacks in Dallas, and we all had to meet up there, and they wound up making that again. Like, you are killing me, but that's okay. Next year, I'm going to set it up, and we're going to go to Portillo's for dinner. They have one right there in Indianapolis. It's right there on the same side and everything.
Yeah.
So we will work that out.
You could have asked Travis. You could have asked Travis, where's a good place to get some food? I'm sure he would have been able to tell you where to go.
But see, when you got a group like that, you want to be agreeable, and that's all fine. But next year, I'm going to work it out ahead of time.
This is one of
2X. Yeah, he was there one night. Said that waitress deserves a Nobel Peace Prize. That waitress got a good. She had about $100 tip that night, didn't she? We took good care of her.
Man,
yeah.
I don't know if I've been to a Bob Evans. I didn't go back. I'm not.
It's
I can't remember.
Okay, Bob Evans about 20 or 30 years ago was much better. And then they just said, hey, man, we can keep cutting costs and frozen stuff, and everything comes out of the freezer into the microwave there now.
Man.
Yeah.
I don't go back to Cracker Barrel really either. So
really,
we've
okay. Always had good luck with Cracker Barrel.
It's all right, I guess.
Yeah. It's okay, but you need to be about 70 to really enjoy the Cracker Barrel experience.
Man,
well, that's funny.
I see my timer's going off here for my.
That's it. Your parking meter's ringing, Joe.
My Chariot's turning into a pumpkin soon. So.
Yeah, man.
Y'all know anybody I should race for this at No Name next year?
There you go. What's
well,
that?
Seeing as how we didn't get last year's race off, you could put me at the top of the list.
Okay.
How's that?
That'd be good. I know there's a lot of Barracudas that was going to show up, but I'd love to race some of those.
Yep. Get your stuff set up early, guys, because you never know what'll happen. All it takes is one oil down or one problem and glitch, and we got as much time as we've got, and that's it.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and jump. Y'all have a good night, and hello,
Merry
everybody.
Christmas, Joe.
Merry
Thanks
Christmas.
for joining us, Joe.
Yeah.
Yes, it was great seeing you.
You too. I'll see y'all.
Be good,
all right,
man.
Good day.
Bye.
What a nice guy. Huh?
He is. Joe's
he is. Joe is rock solid. He's a good egg, as some people would say.
Yeah, he's a good man.
Oh, shit.
Wendy is saying we need a Lambert's in Pennsylvania. Well, Blake told me when I said that you could put about 4 Cracker Barrels inside of one Lambert's that was about the most southern thing he'd ever heard. Measuring something in terms of Cracker Barrels and units of Cracker Barrel. Oh, Levi is saying, Joe, I'll give you 3 car lengths. Levi waited until Joe left the chat to say that. So, Dr. Go is saying throw rolls.
Hi, Beans.
Dude Mopar's here. How's it going? Here's that tunnel ram in question. Jay sent me that. Isn't that cool?
It sure is.
Indeed.
You know, I only had a tunnel ram on my Coronet one time for about 3 or 4 weeks.
Huh. That is wild. The carburetors are mounted backwards. And I guess that's the way the linkage pulls, but the carburetors are mounted backwards. It's wild.
Either that or the thermostat's in the back.
Well, I've never seen that, but there's Jay stopping. It's 30 minutes, and well, then go get it. Nah, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it, Blake. He's putting some pressure on you, though. I've got my carbs. I got them sitting right here behind me in the office, actually. And I think what I'm going to do is do a wind intake because that's what my car ran in today. So, yes, Clint, that is a good price. I agree. I agree with that. Well, John Cope, if you guys have not watched Cope's latest video, he lays out his battle plan for Mr. Haney for 2023 and what all was going on. I was surprised to see Haney apart last weekend.
Yeah, you got to see the whole wing shebang while you were over, didn't you?
Yeah,
everything.
The engine was out.
Yeah,
he's getting ready for battle.
I'm going
Haney's
to
going to be
try.
quicker.
I'm going to try. You know, there's a lot of stuff on the table, and it's just a matter of getting it all done by it. I want to have everything ready to go and ready to test by May 1st. So
Sounds good. May 1st, is that kind of when it unfreezes up there?
no, usually it starts getting nice around April-ish,
Okay.
you know. But usually all of April and half of May it rains. So you know, it'll be nice, but it's just raining. So but yeah, I'm really excited for next year. I'm gonna really try and hit the track some more and try not to be at the shop all the time. You know. What did you think of the shop, John? Did you like
I
it?
think it's great. I think it's great. It's awesome. I love the mezzanine. So in Cope's shop, let me see if I got. Actually, I might have. I may actually have. Yeah, I don't. Shoot. In his shop, there's a mezzanine up above it. And at the end of it, he's got his break room up there, his bar, right? Doesn't drink, but has a bar. Figure that out. But it's cool. It's really. You want me to show them pictures of it?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Check this out. This is from one angle. This is in his shop. You would never know it's there. Yeah, you would never know it's there if you didn't know it was there. Got the pool table. He's got a vintage Galaga cabinet console game, Galaga from 1982. He's got the bar there, really nice bar. Got Christmas lights. I bet the Christmas lights stay year round, don't they?
Yeah, you got you got the get the hell out of here lights on.
Here's here's the jukebox in the corner there.
My grandma's kitchen table.
Yeah. Yes. That's grandma's kitchen table. That's right. And there's the crash couch. It's great. It's got a spiral staircase that goes up to it, which is really neat. You never see that in a shop. But the shop is cool. You got what, 3 lifts in there?
4.
4? Okay.
Yep.
Oh, that's right, because there was one under your power wagon.
Yep.
Yeah, nice. It's a nice setup. Got a valve body dyno. It's very nice.
Yeah, we didn't spend a lot of time there, but I wanted to. We talked about it on the phone. I don't know, what was that, 6 months ago? About if you was ever in town, that I'd take you to Chicago.
And it's got Mr. Haney's wheelchair.
Oh, geez. Look at that.
Mr. Haney's wheelchair. Here's transmission dyno. So there's a transmission test mule.
Yeah, there it is.
Yep, it's got all the gauges that stay hooked up to the case. So to test a valve body, you just drop a valve body on that case and the entire transmission flips over. You don't have to drain the fluid or anything.
Yep, it stays in there.
It's a really slick setup. Well, Jed dropped by. How's it going?
What's up, Jed?
Cool dudes. He means Cope and Joe, who was just here. Yeah, you just missed Joe. He was mocking up some rocker arms on his 400. Yeah, that was fun. But I'd never been to Chicago before, and Cope dared me to stick my foot in Lake Michigan. And there's no beach there where we went. It's just this reef that goes out in the water, right?
We were 100 feet from shore on kind of what? I don't know, not a dock, but we were out there.
It's like a man-made, berm. It just goes out in the water. And it's got a seawall, and I wanted to find a place to stick my feet in. So I finally found a place where the wall curved around and was going with the wind in a low spot in the wall. I'm like, okay, I'm either going to fall in the lake or I'm going to be able to get down low enough I can get my feet in the water. So that's what I did.
Which was crazy. Now, when we talked about this 6 months ago, I said, John, I says, listen, if you ever come here, I'm taking you to Chicago. And I said, you have to dip your toe in the Lake Michigan.
Yeah.
He put both feet. It was at 32 degrees out.
I don't know. The water was liquid. You know.
I bet you the lake had to have been 50 degrees. This nut comes back to the truck with both the shoes off. I'm like, what the hell? He jumps in. He goes, yep, I stuck both my feet Lake Michigan. I couldn't believe it.
The truck was about a tenth of a mile away, too. I had to come up with the seawall. Then I had to find a place to climb. There's 2 walls you got to go up. They don't make it easy to get down there. And so I'm walking down the sidewalk, and there's like homeless people, different places. You know, you're in a big city. And one woman was looking at me like I was insane. And so I just jump in the truck. Like, nothing to see here.
Oh, man, I couldn't believe that. That was nuts.
Jay put the live on the big screen because he's trying to make a number out. What, on the orange paper? Yeah, see, unfinished project. He's attempting it too. 7 dead fish float up. Well, I'll tell you what, my feet probably killed the fish, actually. Now, I don't have bad feet. I've known people who have bad feet, just like the weird looking feet, but Landon says it says 35 days. No, it doesn't. No, we will make that announcement 2 weeks from now. 2 weeks from now. But so we go to Chicago, and we go to Portillo's, which is where Cope said we needed to go, and it was good. I like that place. It's an interesting place. Let me grab that picture.
I'd rather took you out for pizza, but
I'll be back.
You have to wait an hour for pizza.
Well, this, you can't really tell on this because it's a video. There's a Model A Ford that's up high in the middle of the place.
That was cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. First responder garage. This is bizarre. So technically, the next NN will be NN. No, next NN will be the second annual No Name National. 2 hex garages saying Cope 500 North Franklin.
You mean 1060 West Addison?
I don't know.
I don't know.
There are a few of those.
1060 West Addison is Wrigley Field.
That's not the new
North
one.
Franklin.
It's the second annual. I did not shine the rockers up. I have them sitting right there. Did you paint that box black? I can still smell the paint on it. Max Wedge Dick Dastardly. Nah, so we did that, and then we drove up Lower Wacker Drive. That was interesting.
And what restaurant did we go past?
Oh, yeah.
And Lower Wacker Drive.
Exactly. That'll be on my video, Billy Goats.
Oh, you're making a video, John?
Yes, I got video.
Oh.
I've got video. All kinds of good video.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking
No,
for...
no, I know you took video, but you said you're going to make a video?
I'm posting some video I took.
Ah, gotcha.
I am. I'm
Okay.
posting some video I took. But we went by some different things. Let's see here. It was an interesting place. We went by Soldier Field,
which was cool.
They have it lit up all red and green there. I don't know what is it with you? The new No Name Nationals, the next thing. It's just no 2 point. I hate that 2 pointers. It's the second annual No Name Nationals. So I have the second, the third, the fourth. I hope I live on many more after that. It was, what are you saying here? It was cruddy. You painted it, but you painted it black. You painted the box black. That's interesting.
Was Max Webstick at No Name?
No, I hope he'll be there this year.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing a Max Wedge car there.
Oh, no, I'm hoping he will, though. So when I was up there, this is Cope's 68 Coronet.
Oh.
And it looks like it's towing a boat, but it's not. And that car, interestingly, too, if you know where to look, it still has the scars from an exploded drum.
Yep.
Where the high gear drum exploded from a broken sprag.
From 1991.
That's it. Uh, 31 years later, the evidence is still there. And I thought this was interesting. So all the way up there are signs to both Indianapolis and Memphis. Thought that was crazy. But there were.
Even though Memphis is, 7 or more hours away?
Long drive, and yet there were.
You might as well have said, Florida, turn here.
The windshield wipers on the van, for whatever reason, have decided to park straight vertical in front of my face. And that's just where they stay. And I drive all the way. I've actually driven more than one trip with them just like that. That van is a great travel vehicle. Okay, here's an up north thing. You can tell me about this because I don't think I've ever seen this anywhere else. Apparently up north you don't have trash cans. You have rubbish cans. What is that?
I never seen that.
When I crossed into Ohio, as soon as I crossed into Ohio, I noticed they have rubbish cans.
Yeah.
What is that?
Ohio is not north.
Yeah, it is to me. It is to me. Yeah, to me, Ohio is the north. I had never seen that before. I had someone ask me where I was, and I said, I am on my 3rd or 4th hour of that. That's Ohio right there. Just miles and miles and miles of nothing.
Well, it's got to be boring driving all by yourself, too.
That's where I think of all my great debauchery. Oh, yeah, and I hadn't, until I got up there, I had yet to see my own 500th billet revert manual valve body with a trans brake.
And tell them who you met at at the PRI thing.
Well, I didn't meet him there. I just didn't know he had the first valve body.
Right.
So Professor P, Shane Polito, he bought billet reverse manual valve body number 1. And I did not realize he had valve body number 1, and he did not realize I had valve body number 500. It's a small world, isn't it?
That was wild when you texted that to me.
Yeah. Mr. Rodder says rubbish cans are English trash cans. See, Dallas is very cultured. He has traveled the world and knows these things. I did not realize that. So upon discovering that that Polito and I were valve bodies 1 and 500, I sent Cope. I said, "Hey, valve body owners 1 and 500 are both here."
That was crazy.
Professor P is also AHRA member 1. Well, isn't that awesome?
Huh.
I keep my card right here. This is my AHRA membership card right here.
That was your credit card.
Yeah, I am member number 375. And my dues are paid up to the 30th of January, 2025. Dean Stevens says 501. What are you on? You were on 524 last I saw. Billet reverse manual body.
I think I'm at 25 or 26 has already been done and sold.
All right. Well, I already told you. I'm interested in 1,000. I don't even know. I may not even know what that's going in yet, but I'm interested in 1,000.
I hope to be retired by the time I hit 1,000. Unless I do them in 2 years.
Fair enough. Mohawk used to deliver every day in Chicago. I had never been before. But this, we show them this. These are the shop windows at Cope Racing Transmission.
Yeah, does that look cool?
Hand painted.
I found a guy that does that. And I remember when I was a kid, they used to do that to the gas stations and the grocery stores all the time. And now you can't find no one that does that. But luckily I did.
Yeah, here it is from inside. Complete with Mopar neon light in the corner. That's talent right there. And Santa on the door. Cope's got all kinds of festive paint going on. Let's see here. We went by Harry Carey's in downtown, which reminded us of Destroyer 1320.
Which is right next door to the House of Blues.
Yeah.
And we was going to go down that road, but it was closed.
That didn't stop you from going down all the roads that were closed, but
yeah,
some
no
of them.
kidding.
Yeah, there's that skyline. This is in the fog.
Yeah, if it was a clear night, John. If it was a clear night, John, you'd be like, oh my God, would you look at that?
Oh yeah, well, I'll come back.
But see what I mean? If you've been to Chicago, Indianapolis is only a block long.
Yeah, it's a big place. It is somewhere else that we're going to go. I really want to go when I come up there. Is to US 30 Dragway. Check that out, Dallas. Look at that. There's US 30, which is not too far from Cope's shop, right there. It closed in 1984. Think about this, though. That house right there, that guy wakes up every day and looks down a dragway. How cool is that? That has to be the greatest view ever, to wake up every day and look down a dragway.
And he's got to see all the old timers go there once in a while to take pictures of their car on it.
Yes. And that's something they do, apparently.
Yep.
Isn't that neat? I really want to check that out next time I'm up.
We'll go drive down it, John.
Well, this is my old home dragway. It's now a trailer park. It's gone. You can, in fact, if you zoom in, you can see that one big wide street in the middle. Yeah, that was the strip right there. So I would say
Did you ever go down that track?
Oh yeah. That if I ever had just crazy, stupid, ridiculous Bill Gates rich guy lottery winning money, I would want to buy that and get rid of all the trailers and bring it back. Unfinished project.
See, Brian's got a question.
What's that?
Brian's got a question.
Unfinished project, real quick. Why is it abandoned? Probably because there's so much apathy and people aren't interested in going to dragways for various reasons. A whole lot I could say about that. They would rather tell people how quick their car is than actually go to a track. Question for Cope. What is the difference between the regular bolt-in sprag and the drag sprag? And I'll add
Brian,
a
how's it going?
element. Also,
Okay.
What's the difference between the 904 and the 727 sprag? Because that goes along with this.
727s for men and 904s are for girls. I'll answer Brian's question.
Yes.
The good old bolt-in sprag is just a 12-element spring and roller that we drill and put holes in it, and you bolt it into the case. A drag sprag has 16 elements, and what we do is we take a spring and roller kit out of a C6 transmission and make it fit into a torque flight transmission. So if none of you guys knew, the drag sprag is a C6 trans, a C6 sprag made to fit into a 727. Now, it's stronger because it has more spring and rollers to do the holding in first gear.
16 versus 12?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Now, what is the deal with the difference between the way the 727 sprag attaches versus the way the 904 sprag attaches from the factory?
From the factory, a 727 sprag is just simply pressed into the case with one set screw that holds it in. The 904 sprag is put in with, I believe, 6 big, huge rivets that are big enough for the Washington Bridge. So if you take a stock bolt-in sprag out of a 904, you have to cut the rivets. And then you put bolts in, which are half the size of the rivets. So I've always told anyone who ever asks, if your 904 sprag is in good condition, do not put a bolt-in sprag just for the simple fact of putting in a bolt-in sprag, because the studs that hold the factory sprag in are bigger than the bolts that you use. Did that make sense?
It does to me. Ryan here is asking, hey, John Cope, did my buddy Eric get with you on those new style Hemi heads?
I don't know. Not that I know of. I don't know how he would have got a hold of me, email or phone. I don't know.
Aaron Henry here says, I run 904 too. 904 is my favorite Chrysler transmission. Actually, a 999 is my favorite Chrysler transmission. Professor P says 904 is his favorite also. But some applications, you just can't get away with it. If you're running a 4,000-pound pickup truck with 700 horsepower, you probably need a 727. Max Wedge Dick Dastardly wants me to show him the sticker.
Nice.
You do not like the 904.
Who, me?
Yeah.
No. I'll take that over a Power Glide.
Well, okay.
No, I like the.
What's your cutoff for the 904?
I think my fastest one actually set an NHRA mile per hour and ET record and still holds today, which is Dennis Breeden's drag pack.
Yeah.
I don't know what class he runs, but I thought he's got a, what are those cars? 3,700 pound cars, those drag packs?
Yeah.
And I could have swore he was running 940s. So, and I have the tranny actually was sitting at the shop. You didn't get to see it. Did you?
I didn't see his. His is, I can't remember what the deal was with his. His is really light, though.
It is. It's still together. It's on the floor with his name on it. We spent so little time at the shop. I didn't get a chance to show you completely around.
Well, Jerry says that the 727 in our Duster has been super reliable. Think about building a backup. That car right there, that Jerry Duster, if you want 2/10 like that, put a 999 in it. That's the perfect candidate for that.
Yeah. Is that a small block car, John?
It's a small block stroker with practically no gear in the rear. It's got like a 355 gear in the rear end. Small block stroker, heavy Duster, and it runs about an 1150. That is the perfect candidate to get 2/10 instantly from going to a 904.
I have a guy that did the drag week in a small block with a 518 that was automatic shifted.
Right.
And he wanted to do a 727. I says, if you really want to go fast, put a 904 in it. And he did. And he picked up almost 4/10, going from a 518, which is a 46 RE, to a 904. But the 46 REs are super, super heavy, dry weight and rotating weight.
Dallas got this question here. Have you ever messed with a switch pitch super turbine 302 speed?
Yep. That's the precursor of the Turbo 350. And I also did switch pitch 400s that were really big in Buicks. And those were cool because it had a variable speed stator in the converter that would switch from high to low stall. So you could take off. And what we used to do when we were kids, we'd put that switch pitch on a toggle switch and put it on high stall when we take off. And as soon as we were hooked, we'd put it to low stall. It was really a cool option. Really cool.
I'm actually wanting to do a 46 RH in the van. So that's why I need to find an 89 to 94. Is that what you said?
That is correct. So it's got to have the 3-prong connector. Your van doesn't have an overdrive?
The van has a 999 in it.
Are you kidding me?
No, it's got a 999 in it. The van has the original 999, never been out of it since 1985.
You should get the A500.
But I want to tow with it.
You can still do that.
I want to tow a car trailer with it. You think that's prudent to have the van and be pulling a car trailer with it with an A500?
You're the big 904 guy.
I know. I love the 904. I just got a lot of weight for it.
Well,
you think it'd hold up? I'd be open to it.
I had a 83 Ram Charger with a 999 at 318 2-barrel. I drove for 4 years, and I towed my Cornet and an open trailer all over the Midwest and never had a transmission problem.
That's awesome.
So,
I consider it. I've got half of the A500 out in the garage right now. What did the $999 come in? I know you could get it in the D150 and Dakotas. Mine came out of Dakota.
Fifth Avenues, Cordovas, Muratas, Magnums. Those were the most popular.
Is $999 a 904 with a lockup?
Yes. It is.
Also, it had like a 5-clutch drum, did it not?
Yes, sir. I actually got a really great video on my videos of how to take a lockup 989 and use it in your performance, take place of a 904, but not use the lockup.
Yeah.
Because it's the best tranny. If you're going to do the 999/904, that's the best one to get, is the 999.
Agree.
And I still haven't.
Go ahead.
I still haven't figured out what the 998 is. I think the 998 is the same as a 999 and non-lockup.
I don't know. Mike Iben here. Here's the torque converter whisperer. Were they switch pitch or variable pitch? Was it all the way high stall or low stall, or does it work in between? Mike Iben is the torque converter whisperer. He works for Top Line Converter near Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm. Well, switch pitch and variable pitch is the same thing. The variable pitch is the correct name. The switch pitch is the street slang that it got. So it does the same thing. And there was really only about 400 or 500 RPM difference between the high stall and the low stall. And as he should know, how GM used it is there was a little switch on the floor. So when you floored it, it would switch the stator over to high stall. And as soon as you let off, it'd switch it to low stall. But the variable pitch is what it's called technically. The switch pitch is just the slang or the street name for it.
Here's a crazy one for you. How did the 904 and 727s get their name?
I have no clue.
I have no idea.
I've asked every Chrysler guy that was 100 years older than me that worked at the Kokomo plant. Anytime I seen some old guy that worked at the Kokomo plant, I would ask them, and I never got an answer.
Yeah.
And here's what's weird. The 904's got a bigger number, but it's a smaller trans.
Then there's the 833. How do you get a manual transmission number right in the middle? And then you got a 230. So you got manual, automatic. It's just there's you can't reverse engineer those numbers and figure anything out.
Yeah.
Like if it's AMC, you have like Torque Flight 6 and Torque Flight 8. If you've ever read that, that's 904 and 727. That at least you can kind of figure out. But 904 and 727, you can't.
I mean, like with Fords, it's C3, C4, C5, C6. The number goes up, so does the power level. Turbo 350s, then it goes to turbo 400s, then 425s. That goes up in numbers.
Yep. Well, and Chrysler, they did that too later. Chrysler did that starting in what year?
Yeah, the government made them do that. And I want to say that was 95 or 96.
The government mandated that?
Yes. So a 727, the 727 is a 30, 36
or 36.
No, it's a 36 RH. For a 3-speed, the 6 is the power level or the torque band. The rear is rear-wheel drive. The H is hydraulic.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm pretty sure the government did that. They didn't want them. They wanted everything to be somewhat uniform.
Well, here's one of those exotic deals here Max Wedge is talking about. My buddy raced a 727 with 904 parts in it. It would only go a few weekends at a time.
Yep. Those were done by Smith was his last name. He owns Pro Trans in California.
You call that a pro flight?
Yes. And now he moved out of California to Texas. Imagine that. I wonder why. And those are really super fast transmissions. Yes, the 400.
Right, unfinished project. The 904 was correct. But what we can't figure out is where those numbers 727 and 904 came from. I know where 31RH came from. I know where 31TE came from and 41TE. 4-speed, torque level 1, transverse for sideways, and E for electronic. I mean, that's what they went to, but I don't know where 727 and 904 came from. Or 833 and 230.
I believe the Torque Flight 6 name and the Torque Flight 8 name is slang. I mean, it's a Torque Flight 727 or 904, but the 904s just weren't 6-cylinder transmissions.
Yeah.
So that's actually transmission slang, again. To my knowledge, it is anyways.
My Dart Sport came with a 727, but I'm going to put a 999 in it. I want to make it quicker. It ran a best of 720 when my buddy Jack had it. And I think I will easily get it quicker than that. And part of the program is that transmission. I got 100 pounds on Jack, though, so I got to find ways to make the car quicker. Okay, Ed Hackett has an interesting hypothesis. I suspect the original part number began with these 3 numbers. Could be. That would be worth investigating. That's interesting. And Dallas is talking about how to identify the GM stuff. Man, I can. I have a foggy idea of how to look under one and tell if it's a TH400, and that's about it.
I can tell him.
Yeah, you will.
His question is, well, put the question back up there, John.
Yeah.
Thank you. What's the easiest way to identify them from the outside? Does he just want to identify a regular Turbo 400 or a Turbo 400 switch pitch? The easiest way is a Turbo 400 has a modulator pointing to the passenger side, and a Turbo 350 has a modulator pointing to the rear end. So that's probably the easiest way in GMs. Hey, look at that, a 72 Cadillac in that little picture.
Sure enough.
It looks like a 72.
The TH400 has a really weird looking pan on it too.
It's kind of
a triangular pan. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that 2-spade connector doesn't always mean it's a switch pitch. But because they use those 2-pin connectors with only one wire on them. But that is the best way to see if your 400 is a switch pitch is if you look at the stator, that little machine surface is really, really small. But you have to know what a non-switch pitch looks like.
Jason Falk just got off from work. Well, hello. Thanks for joining us. Well, we're going to have to get an agenda together next time I can come up to get into more trouble in Chicago.
Yeah, we're going to take that dually and do some more drifting with it.
Got to do some more drifting in the dually. We're under
downtown Chicago.
Yeah, we're under the L in Chicago, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's the corner the Blues Brothers drifted. He's drifting it too. Yeah, that's a hot setup. So your dually was originally a 6-speed manual, right?
Yes.
And you converted it over to a 48. Is that a 48 RE in that?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's got his PPP shifter in it, manual, reverse manual shifter.
Now it's a what do I call it? The 49 RCRT is what it is.
Nice setup. I see Jackie Abbott's in here. Well, howdy. Thanks for joining us.
Jackie Abbott makes the best cookies in the world. Every time her and Pat come over to the shop, she always brings me cookies.
They are both delightful people.
Yes.
I like
they
them.
are.
They're just good people to be around.
Yep.
Yeah, Mr. Rodder is exactly right. Lower Wacker Drive. I got video coming up on this. Oh, look at this. The caddy is for sale, too.
Yeah, the only reason why I knew because I had a 72 Cadillac Fleetwood.
I could see you driving that. You look like a mob boss getting out of that.
Yeah. Shortly after we got married, I bought Elaine a 93 Fleetwood. And that was a Paulie Walnuts car to the max.
I bet. Had the dead body size trunk and all, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, see, Jay agrees. Jay agrees. So now you've got 2 references for your cookies there, Miss Jackie.
Her cookies are delicious. That's kind of funny. That can be taken 2 different ways.
They're good people. The Abbotts are good people.
They are rock solid.
And I look forward to seeing them in at least that many days.
I see the number. Doesn't anybody else? I can see the number.
What number?
The under the lights.
What is it?
I can't say.
What?
I'm not going to say.
How many?
Doesn't anybody else see the number? Can anybody? It's right there. Look at right.
How many of you in the chat want me to move the lights? How many of you in the chat want me to move the lights? I mean, I don't think anybody in the chat wants to know what's on the orange paper under the lights. Now, Chicago was neat. We were going up one street and about to go down the wrong way out of convenience. There was a cop sitting there, and I think, he might not have enough to do.
You know, the police in Chicago will not pull you over unless you got assault rifle sticking out each side of the car.
But if you're out one side, you're good, right?
Yeah. You got to have 2 guns on each side.
You know, in Tennessee, if you don't have your rifle in the car, Tennessee will stop and say, hey, man, Memphis is dangerous. You know you should have your rifle when you travel, right? My rifle never left the van, so fortunately.
And
I mean, what kind of person doesn't travel with a rifle? Colleen Tebow says, no, leave it. Dean says it's blank. No, it's not. Redbeard says, what's up? Rapid Transit doesn't want to know what's on the paper. Kevin's Mopar says, keep it a surprise. Wendy says, I see a 9. Really? People are too much. What 9? Well, you know, maybe we should show what's on the paper. What do you think?
Go ahead.
Let's show what's on the paper. This might be difficult,
It's going to fall.
If it does, you're going to love that, aren't you?
It's going to fall, then your computer's going to shut off.
That would be awesome, wouldn't it? Okay.
Drum roll. You want a drum roll, Sparky?
There we go.
It's the Prince sign.
What?
It's the Purple Rain sign.
It was not blank. I told you it wasn't blank. It wasn't blank.
Or is that your future tattoo?
Let's see. There it is.
Oh my God. He got all of you guys.
I'm telling you. You people be careful what you ask for.
It could be a 0, a horn, and maybe a 1.
Yeah, so it's you wondered. There you go.
What if someone uses that as their dial-in?
If they use that as their dialing, well, then what that means is that the track operator will get the discretion to assign a dial-in. How's that?
Yeah, right. I got
So,
you.
for instance, if Ryan from Streetcar Chronicles uses this from a dial-in, the track operator is going to say, okay, 10:20 in the 8th it is. Yeah, Clint's saying that's actually the number in ancient Sumerian. Ed Hackett is trying to guess. Mr. Rotter says it looks like the new confused gender bathroom sign. Actually, that's what they should use for the bathroom thing right there. Just put that on the door. 9, emancipation. I guess they're after me now. Yep, see. Rapid transit. Wasn't I was going to Google that. Well, there you go. What'd you think was under there? What do you think? Was going to have a number on there? You people. I'm telling you what. Now, Dallas, if you're still in here, I told them we're planning to announce 2 weeks from right now that December 30th live. Wendy said she was close. A 9 is round at the top. Wendy was wanting to know how to zoom in on YouTube because when we were live from Travis Bell's, there was something written on the orange paper, but nobody could make it out. Mr. Rotter says, I know a number. Is that so? I know a number too. December 30th, we're going to make an announcement of a number. That's right. Evans Mopars wants to know, is that a keyhole to look through to see the number? No, it's not. It's this is Prince's symbol for the artist formerly known as Prince, the late Prince. This is him. Prince was a very talented musician. He played all kinds of instruments, and he did his own composition in studio, and he sang everything. He did everything. One-man show, and put it all together in studio and released it. Very talented, weird guy.
He was on top of the world when Purple Rain came out.
Yep. Strange character. Very talented, though. Levi's saying possibly June 7th. Good a guess as any. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a Prince fan or anything per se. Just, why not? I mean, this is better than having a number that may or may not be right. So, The Unfinished Project is trying to do some conspiracy math. He played 11 instruments, and he played 11 instruments on the first album. See, I don't know all that. Dallas knows that. I just remember he was a very talented guy. Then tell us where it will be on Valentine's Day. I don't know. I haven't done that math. Have not done that math. It's not conspiracy. It's real. No, I'm talking about conspiracy math. I don't know anything about any conspiracies. I'm just talking Unfinished Project will probably try to do some conspiracy math. He's usually good at that kind of thing. Unfinished Project has information that it's either one of the first 8 months of the year or a month that ends in R.
High beans.
I like the headphones you got going. You didn't have those last time you were on.
No, that's because my family's being loud and I wanted to pay attention. So.
Yeah, sometimes you get the feral lives where you've got all kinds of stuff going on in the background and all different squares. Makes it interesting.
Just helps me pay attention. I don't have to pay to anything else going on or outside me,
No, really, it's always quiet here, unless as long as Jethro's taking a nap, and I assume he is, and he's not here. He must be in the other room taking a nap. Anybody else have anything for our esteemed guest, Mr. John Cope?
Or if anybody else had any questions for our host, John Wilburn,
ask me.
Now's the time.
The only thing they want to ask me is what's on the orange paper. And you see what's on the orange paper.
If you hold it to the left, it'll give it away.
Unfinished Project wants to know what you're snacking on.
I am snacking on popcorn.
Ah, look at that. Dallas got a question.
We had pizza for dinner tonight, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
It was great.
I'm going to come up for some Chicago pizza.
Aurelio's. I don't know if you ever noticed in my videos, every time I go out for pizza, a customer named Scotty, who's from Texas, when he was here, this guy drove up from Texas to buy a transfer me and then drove back. I took him out to Aurelio's. He loved it so much. Before he went home, he went back and bought a jar of the sauce.
Wow.
So every time I throw in one of my videos a little jab or a gig or whatever of me and Elaine going out to Aurelio's, it's always attention Scotty.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have to do more when I come up.
What is an ST300?
I don't know what that is.
It's got to be a transmission.
What is that, Dallas?
I think that's the transmission, the switch pitch. I don't know what the ST stands for. Could it take some hot rod power? I would say no. I would get it. Okay. I would get a 350 or 400 because I'm not sure if the turbine takes the same converter as the 400 350 does. So getting a good converter too makes a big difference. Hi, Beans.
Yeah, Super Turbine 300.
Come here, butter.
Yeah, it's all stuff I have no idea about. I mean, I've done some Chevrolet transmissions, but I had to do them in trade school.
Come here.
I haven't done a Chevrolet transmission since.
Yeah.
Who's your buddy there?
That's Beans.
Beans?
And our other dog is Butters. Butters and Beans. One big one and one small one.
The BOP Power Glide.
You know what that means, right?
Huh?
John. John, you know what BOP means, right?
Yes.
That's
Well, I know what it means in this context.
What does it mean?
Buick Olds Pontiac?
Just checking.
Just checking.
Just checking.
He's quizzing me.
I
so
am.
Blake, our talented artist who does these things. Blake is a super creative guy.
He's also a heathen.
He is. He decided to make this. So my question is, how in the world did he get the picture? He must have screen grabbed it from the live. I don't even know why he would have the picture.
And the valve bodies are off my website. That valve body
that's
picture.
Good. Props to you there, Blake.
Did he see the Mr. Haney picture I put him in?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Did you see it, John?
I think so. It's the one where he was with that orange dart.
Yeah. Keep the
Blake
people entertained.
Yes, Blake is a bright guy. Indeed.
All right, where would that be? Gee, I don't know. do.
That's great. I'm going to send you that a little bit. Well, so now I want to see if you sent it to me, because you probably would have sent it to me. I want to see.
I don't know if I did or not.
Oh, yeah. Here it is. I got it.
Are you ready?
Right here.
Yeah. Dual screen.
Look at that. Ah!
I saw that. I'm like, oh, man, I know what I'm going to do with that picture.
Yep. The original source there with his dart.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah, that's a great picture.
You beat me to it, John.
Well, that's usually my trick. I don't know how to do it the fancy proper way with screen share, but I do the zoom in on the camera. Danny Boyd saw the Mr. Hanky thumbnail on Dallas's channel. Yes, indeed.
Hanky? That ain't the name of the truck.
No, it's not. It's something. It's about something else.
Mr. Hanky's a Christmas poop from South Park. Mr. Haney's a truck you can see.
Yes, that's what Dallas had on his thumbnail. Right. Of course, if you missed the thumbnail that I did on the live with John Cope that has Just Mopar Joe and John Cope in it as Mr. Haney, that's a good thumbnail. Check out. It's still up. You can see it. All right. Anybody have any last licks they want to get in? Because we are coming upon the top of the hour. We've got some good guests coming up, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
So on December 30th, I'm going to have Dallas of the AHRA, the president of the AHRA, Dallas Brown. He and I are going to be making an announcement about the second annual No Name Nationals sanctioned by the AHRA. And then on January 6th, I have the Andy Wood of Unity Motorsports Garage. We're going to talk all things tunnel ram. So bring your tunnel ram questions, tuning, setup, all the stuff you want to know about tunnel rams and maybe we're afraid to ask. That's going to be the place. Then later on in January, I plan to have Tom Sarmento, who was the mechanic for Warner Brothers, who worked on the General Lees during the run of Dukes of Hazzard. So he can tell you all kinds of interesting things. Like, do you guys know what carburetor the General Lee ran? He does, and I do now.
2-barrel.
No, it was not a 2-barrel.
Really?
It was a Holley 9776 4-barrel designed for a tunnel ram, and it ran a single one.
Huh.
Because that was the most trouble-free outbox 4 they could stick on the cars, and that's what they ran.
Huh.
So there you go. And there's all kinds of questions like this. Did they prefer sure grip in the rear or not? And why? Where did they find their cars? All of this kind of stuff are good questions you can ask Mr. Tom Sarmento. He'll be on the show, should be in January after Andy. We've got some interesting guests coming real soon, some industry guests talking about different technologies, things like that. So we're going to be getting a schedule out here pretty soon. And then, of course, once we announce the No Name Nationals, we're going to have a lot of our fellow YouTubers. We're going to be talking about their projects and such. So we had a little bit of an off season for about a month, but now we're getting back to where we have regular guests every Friday. So, but right now it's kind of chill. And it's nice. This is nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. We're going to call it a night. I appreciate everybody in the chat. Appreciate the mods in here. Thank you, guys. Appreciate Joe for dropping by. And appreciate you, John Cope, for joining us again tonight. Thanks a bunch.
Anytime, John. Anytime.
This is fun. I love having you on here. So, all right, guys. We're out.
See you guys later.